having watched what Don did yesterday, that he is he's been on a tear as they go ahead and yeah, it's very quick readies as he's ready to go. I don't know what we're gonna expect here. Either player has the capacity for just putting some explosive play together, as we saw from Bidwell last night, and actually from Don as well. So I'm excited for this one there.
Yeah, most definitely. I looked over at Don's board. He had a couple of different pills that was not really conducive to starting the board. Really turned it into something useful, opening the board up with a T, dropping everything down to really have zero garbage on Don's board. Meanwhile, taking a look over at Bidwell's side, who's also playing with some interesting things there as well, dropping things down. He's going to go on ahead and clear things over the blues and the yellows. A little bit floaty of a board is does Bidwell have over there, but it's looking like it's a 16-21 game in favor of Don Venier.
And a reminder that the winner of this match is going to go on to semifinal Sunday. And that is something that both players, it's been a while for both of them. For Don, it's been since March of last year. For Bidwell, it's been since November 21. I believe he took second place in that tournament. So both players kind of itching to get back onto a Sunday play, and one of them will be there. But looking over at Don's board, that is so much yellow.
So much yellow, and now blue's coming his way, and now he's getting these red pills when she does not need anything of. He is going to just drop things down as quickly as possible, looking like he is going to hopefully set up for the double yellow if it comes its way. Don is going to try and prioritize in a certain way here. Is going to tuck that down. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's going to doubly clear everything out. Here comes the double yellow, of course, as I say that. A little bit too late as the commentator reels that in at a 146.
Look at this cross clear from Bidwell. That is going to put him a lot closer than he was just a second ago, as he is out once he gets a blue. There it is, out of the 151.
151 for Bidwell. Dawn going some bracket clears to have the pill halves floating on top to minimize the drop time. I think it's a smart play for players to recognize the brackets to make sure that they are able to keep everything in clear as tidy of an order here. Meanwhile, take a look over at Bidwell's side, who's got really dense top line, really just everything ready, but nothing's really coming his way. Is Bidwell? He just needs a lot of blues and reds to make work of this board here. But Don's still holding a lead, 24-29 over Chris Bidwell.
Yeah, but do remember that there's about a dozen seconds difference in their clocks, which put Bidwell almost tied up with Don coming out of level 8. And lightning bolts like that are the sort of thing that are going to keep him in this game. But yeah, as you
Ooh.
said, seven virus difference by what we see. And what'd you see there?
Yeah, I saw magic. I saw electrifying moments here, as you mentioned, that lightning bolt, very electrifying plays from both these players here. Bidwell with a little bit of a split board now. He is going to have two halves of the board. He's going to have to maneuver things when they come this way, giving him that mobility, but not really an efficient play for Bidwell. Don electing to take that drop time, I think that is a smart play, considering that he had really no plays to place everything down. But Bidwell stopping and dropping everything down, he is going to drop it all in. Don signaling for the L yeah at the Reds. He does, in fact, take that with two remaining on his level 9.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just have to look at the numbers to figure out exactly how far in the lead somebody is, because the looks of the boards were very different as we see Don now into level 10. Bidwell looked like he was quite a bit further behind than he was. In reality, it was just basically the way the board setups were going for him. But he is now out at a 345.
345 for Bidwell, and Don placing those blue reds strategically on top in the fifth and sixth column here. He's going to drop everything down, which you see right there. Sometimes players will go ahead and do that to make sure that even if they do not get the pills in the right order, they can still use it later down the road here. And that's Don doing that very well, masterfully. Meanwhile, take a look over at Bidwell, who's got a little bit more of a straightforward board here, looking like he is going to clear things down in the vertical fashion, and that's really causing him to really close this gap back. I think it was about 14 viruses before. Now it's about 10 viruses. Still in favor of Don.
Yeah, he wishes he had that piece right before the double blue back, because he had the opportunity to take a triple out, and that would have really pushed him forward into this game. But right now, things aren't looking too bad for Bidwell. Oh, they weren't looking too bad for Bidwell till that missed drop. Unfortunate unfortunate play there. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. As Oh, I thought that was Larva over his shoulder. Uh, I know she's out there at the expo with him. But yeah, now it's about a dozen virus difference, and Dawn has some good setups here. I know he's thinking horizontal on those reds, but now everything dependent on red for him. And yeah, he's going to get this figured out. Just going to need two more reds, and he's going to be out of level 10. And that's going to happen right now here to 518.
Don was thinking reds, but Dodaka's thinking yellows and blues. Luckily, it didn't stifle him too much here as he still holds on to a lead going into this final level of this game here. Meanwhile, Don looking like he has a glut of blues on his board. Let's see if the Doc is going to provide with some of the blue pills. He is trying to expose and make sure that the board health is looking the best so he can have all of the plays ready for him. Don going ahead and dropping things down at red, yellow, exactly orders. He does, in fact, vertically clear that, and it does have a much more clean board, much tidier of a board going into it here. He has plays. He has plays here, Ook.
Yeah, that quad that he had early in the level was really smartly set up. But right now, not seeing a lot of access to blue for him. We're going to see if that causes any problems or if he is going to be able to work his way through as Bidwell got himself a little bit blocked off. He needs blues as well just to get the garbage knocked out of his way. Looks like he is signaling a horizontal plan here. And it's just taking time off his board. He needs a blue. It's going to get the blue red. That's going to put him out at a 622 and very much behind the eight ball as he enters this level 11. Now 30 viruses behind.
Yeah, and Don has been riding a struggle bus going into this end game of this level 11 here. Very spired on the left and rightmost side, turning into an inverse Gaussian curve. Looking over at Don's board, he just needs a bunch of reds and yellows, and he's just getting everything with the blue as another half here. So it's gonna be really challenging for him to try and make some work out of it here. I do like that double yellow. That's a great position. Still trying to maintain that tightness and cleanliness of the board is Don, but oh, I like that. Oh, yeah, into it here.
Ooh.
Do I see a sweet tea drop in Don's side future? I think so.
Yeah, I'd say so. And
Oh, I spoke too soon. A little bit of a misdrop from Don here. He knows it.
yeah, I don't think it's going to end up mattering too awful much. He is going to need to get those reds out of the way though, as yeah, like you said, it's a minor problem, but he's going to get there. Oh, smart
There you
clear
go.
there, and yeah, he is just a few pieces away from finishing up this board. Bidwell having the opportunity to come back a little bit, down to just a 15 virus disadvantage. But it is going to be a couple of reds, a blue, and there's that red that Don needs. He is out at a 751, so we're going to give Chris the other 3 seconds. Uh, he is now past that time, so it will be Don Vineyard taking crown number one.
Woo. In the end of the end game for Don really almost derailed for a bit there as he was just not getting the pills there, and it kind of got a little bit sidetracked with when he had a little bit of a misdrop in that second and third column here. Really didn't matter too much going into it, but I was actually curious, what his end game was like, especially since that bottom right red virus was really tucked away and with no easy access to it. But Don clearing it down, getting the verticality in, and just clearing it down here. And Bidwell with a patented Bidwell bounce at the Game On Expo over in Phoenix, Arizona.
A reminder, you'll be able to see the action from Phoenix here on the DrMC, as I believe we'll be on the DrMC2 tomorrow. So just check both channels, and it should be a good time. And hopefully, we're gonna have a lot of really good Dr. Marios. We do have our readies from our players, and there we are in 3, 2, 1, and pills. So basically, if you're looking for verses or you're looking for speed and you don't see it on this channel, check the dose. If you're not following the dose, you should be.
Absolutely. I mean, why not, right? I mean, everyone loves some awesome pill action there. But when we take a look at this pill action, we see both players out the gates here. Dawn with a little bit of a timer advantage, timer start early going into it, but it's not going to mean too much of a difference as both these players are going to navigate their way to make sure everything is a-okay for the clear. The most important thing is when these players do indeed finish up that last virus, it is on their independent clocks that they have set. But we take a look over here, and Bidwell and Don both with 24-ish viruses here, but Bidwell with the virtual advantage since his timer started later.
Yeah, Don's the front end of his level was really not friendly at all. I think our eights tonight have just been pretty bad overall. I think it's been rough for everybody. So maybe the game can give us a break soon. But yeah, it's been kind of a difficult path, but and you look at it now, Dawn needs blues
Oh,
and here's a double yellow blitz. This is
jeez.
going to be good for him. He's going to get the yellow blue. Nice clear there. Uh man, just rough, but is going to get out of here with the next red, and that is going to be at a 129.
And even with that blitz, a 129 at a level 8 is really a fantastic time going into it. And Bidwell also out of the 129. We are neck and neck going into this level 9 here.
And that's the way it should be. Both players, titans of the game, putting everything they've got out on the line and getting the best that they can, giving us our money's worth when it comes to playing this game as well as possible. I like the setups that Don has been putting together already. He's had some good combo sets and
Ooh,
really good T clear there. That is exactly what we want to see. He's signaling some horizontals, signaling some just fun plays. We'll see if he gets what he needs to make it happen.
a very clever sweet tea on Don's side there. It's kind of difficult to manufacture those side sweet teas, but Don really putting on a master class to make sure that that is exactly what took place here. Bidwell with a little bit of reds and yellows on his board. I'm curious if he's going to clear those reds out horizontally. He may not elect to do so since it is very high up on the board. We'll see how it plans out with Bidwell and seeing where he clears things out. Meanwhile, taking over at Don, who's got a bunch of the reds and yellows here. No blue pills, no blue viruses. He is going to drop things down, and I like what he does with that. I think he may clear those reds out, possibly horizontally. No, he's just going to go ahead and clear things down in a vertical way. That's a smart thing to do, I think, at this point in the end game.
Yeah, unfortunately blocked himself off with a yellow there. So, um, yeah, he's really hoping for another red before he gets yellow. Gets that. Dalton's going to be out at a 303, and Bidwell again not too far behind him. Had to just had to figure out the prioritizations for some of these clears. It hasn't been ideal for him, but uh, it's just a tough game. Game's being tough tonight, and not playing very nicely. And sometimes you take the good RNG nights with the bad. And yeah, Bidwell close to finishing this level 9, but Dawn pressing very hard, far ahead into level 10. He's turned on the jets, and gotta say that is looking solid for him right now.
Yeah, most definitely. His board is a little floaty on that right side, but looks like everything is open and exposed for Don. I don't think it's going to matter too much as he is hoping for a blues yellows. He is signaling to clear things out down over to the right side. Yeah, Don's board is looking really good to be able to clear things out in a really orderly way here. Meanwhile, we take a look over at Bidwell, who's still gotten into level 10 and around a 358, but Don firmly in a driver's seat with over a 30 virus advantage over Bidwell, our 15 seed.
Yeah, and that's where we saw him at the beginning of level 11 last game. We know that one ended with Don struggling a bit, but finding his way through. We'll see what happens here as he's again got the advantage on Chris Bidwell, 15 seed. But yeah, Chris is working his way pretty solidly down this board. But it is going to be Don out first. As soon as he gets these three blues, there's one, two, and three. He's out at a 447. That's a good time to be coming out of level 8 if you're doing 6 to 9. So, really good time to be coming out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And these 8 through 11 blocks are notoriously troublesome for the players here, almost taunting in the face as far as the RNG that delivers over to you. And so Don getting out with a 446 is really fantastic work. But when we take a look over at Don's board, he just needs a bunch of blues and reds here. And okay, he's now exposed his board here. I like that. L yeah for Don. L yeah for
Oh,
Don.
very nice. And yeah, that floaty left-hand side, that big spire that he's got, dropping it now, it just makes the most sense. You don't want that to get too out of control. it can mean disaster for a player. As Don goes for a triple there, says, you know what? I've got the opportunity to take it down some. I don't care. This triple calls, and I'm taking it. As Bidwell, very close at the end now. He just needs three blues, and he will be out as well.
Yeah, Don Spire, he's still playing very efficiently, but those drop times at the Spire is really going to eat away at possibility of a really excellent time here. He still is within a range of low sixes for his board, but with that Spire he had set up, I wasn't sure if he had it set up from the early portion of his board, or if it's just the pills that were coming in a very inopportune way for him. But as we take a look here, Don at the very bottom portion of his board is looking to get some reds to really make some damage with the rest of his board. He is going to elect to build up to that blue. I think it's a smart play since that's the only blue to minimize that drop time.
Yeah, and you got to think he's thinking horizontals here. In fact, putting the yellow, okay, I thought maybe he was going to stack the yellow on top of the red, which would have been just a next level play as this red yellow coming up would have gotten him out. But a 641, Dawn
Ooh,
out at a 641. I got to check the hot time board, see where that puts him because you got to imagine on 8 to 11 just outside the top 20. That's going to put him tied for 28th. Uh, heck, heck of a play.
wow, yeah. If you get a six in his level block, that's a smoking fast time. And Don really was just on all running on all cylinders throughout that match, even with the RNG sequencing that came his way. But again, GG's cross crowd. We see a Larva in the crowd. We see Bidwell. He's sending some GG's over there. I saw Pack earlier in the background. I think all the players are rooting for the remaining competitors here for this gold speed bracket here. But wow, what a match between these two. Absolutely electrifying.